Now it's time to take another look at Vlookup to recall using it. And we have in front of us a table that contains a number of cheeses. Here the cheeses in our information system have a code. There's a name for each cheese, for instance Rosenberg or Petaki. There is a certain number of items per package, or a certain number of grams per package that we have to consider with these cheeses as well. And then there is the price of the cheese. We know that we want to inspect the code, the cheese coded with 214004, and the table has this time been named with the upper header and the additional row, just to give us a taste of the variety of ways it can be done. And now we have to use Vlookup. For that we write equals Vlookup, parenthesis begin, and since we're searching for 214004, we click on B15. We also need to give the name of the entire table, so we put semicolon. Here it is in the hint. It also says that the first had to be the lookup value and the second is the table array. So we drag the table with the upper header and with the extra row. Remember that Vlookup always searched in the left column for the code. So the next thing we put is semicolon, and which column to return. The name is in the second column, so we put down 2. And then there was this other thing to put down, which was 0. Let's enter it. We see that it correctly finds 214004, which is Arla grad. And let's now talk a bit about this 0 in the end of Vlookup. The code had to be in the left column, but 0 meant that, for instance, if we have the results of a university test and the result is 88, and now we have the test scores which range 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and the grades are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this 0 meant the usual Vlookup, which looks up like this exact code, only the exact code. But there is another option 1, which we will look at very shortly, which actually does the looking up like this. It searches for this 88, and it searches it like this. 88 is not 50, 88 is not 60, 88 is not 70, 88 is not 80, and 88, well, 90 is actually past it. And then there were 2 options, whether to give back the previous one or the next one. And in Microsoft Excel it had been decided that we give back the previous one, which means, yeah, that's correct. The test should be graded with number 4. And this is the alternative, but we're so far only considering this exact lookup, which means that the value 214004 must be here exactly. Okay, let's write another Vlookup. It's equals Vlookup, parenthesis begin, and now we're looking up 214004 from table cheese. There's a hint below here, and we can write it or we can drag it. Semicolon, the prices are in the 4th column, and there's this 0 again. Let's click OK. And the price is going to be 274,88. Now, actually, as it turns out to be, we have many times emphasized that with Vlookup, it looks up the code only in the left column. Actually, our assessment would be that Vlookup is too limited function, because, for instance, if we want to search for the name of the cheese, we should really reorganize the table a little. But this is too difficult to do. So our actual suggestion would be to use something we will next study. It's called index and match. But we should know how the VLOOKUP works nevertheless, because the other worksheets that are done in your organization by other people will no doubt be using this VLOOKUP. Okay. So we've practiced VLOOKUP a little. Now there is some room for its close relative, which is called HLOOKUP. Let's take the table, right click and copy. Let's click in here, and now we're not doing a usual paste, but rather we're clicking right click and paste special. This presents us with a number of options. The first option we choose is a very common one and a very important one, values, which does delete all the formulas from the cells. Right now these cells didn't contain formulas, they contained only text, so this is not important, but it also deletes all the formatting, this blue color. We don't want that at the moment as well. So this is why we use this values, which is really in other situations used very commonly. But we also want to click on transpose, and this transpose will turn the table on the side. Let's see what it does. Let's click. You see, what happened was what used to be in the first row of the table is now in the first column, and what used to be in the third row of the table, or let's say second row of the table, is now in the second column. This cheese 104002 in the second row is now in the second column. So what we did was we transposed this table, which means we turned it by 90 degrees. And now we're just doing this to demonstrate how a sister function of VLOOKUP, which is called HLOOKUP. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup, when the table is built from up to down. And now we're using HLOOKUP, which stands for horizontal table, when the table is built from left to right. We write again the code 214004, and we write the HLOOKUP function like this, equals HLOOKUP parenthesis begin equals HLOOKUP parenthesis begin. Again, we're looking for 214004. Now, there's no table name, so let's write semicolon, and let's click and drag the entire table. This name goes slightly past, but it doesn't matter. It's actually situated in this cell. And now we put down semicolon, and now we're looking for the code in the first row this time, in case of HLOOKUP, in the first row. And we want to get as the result the name of the cheese, which is in the second row. So instead of second column, we have second row, so we write number 2. And we put down semicolon 0 again. And here it is, just the same result that was with us last time as well.